Idiots who can't speak aren't family. We're giving her to the hag. Get out. What on earth are you doing? I pushed past my defiant son and his wife, who were protectively hugging my granddaughter, her cheek red with the sting of a recent slap. Their cold, unrepentant faces infuriated me as they continued to belittle their mute daughter. Unable to stand it anymore, I decided to raise my granddaughter myself and took her home. 10 years later, we returned from living overseas. My son and his wife showed up at my door. We missed you. We're family, aren't we? Let's live together. Idiots aren't family. Please go back. My name is Margaret Patterson, a 60-year-old widow. I lost my husband a few years ago and have been living alone in a large house. Though I once considered living with my son Jack and his wife Mary, I quickly realized it wouldn't work. We never got along, and I didn't want to end up helping at the bar they run. My body isn't as agile as it used to be, and I'm not great at customer service. Living and working together would stress us both out, so I decided it was best to live separately. Jack never suggested we live together after my husband passed, and I appreciated that. Finally free from child rearing and caregiving, I looked forward to enjoying my time alone. But living alone was lonelier than I had anticipated. I had no hobbies or friends, having devoted all my time to housework, raising my child, and caring for my husband. Days blurred into each other as I watched reruns of TV dramas to pass the time. Even when I tried to establish new habits, they never seemed to stick. For me, living such a monotonous daily life, the presence of my two granddaughters was immensely significant. Emily, the eldest, is 10 years old, and the younger Lily is 6. They're both adorable girls. Emily is beautiful and has a knack for acting like an adult, while Lily is a bit clumsy and quiet. She's often compared to her more mature and beautiful sister, making her feel lonely. Although I love both girls dearly, I have a soft spot for Lily. It was clear to me that she was often overlooked by both her parents and Emily. My son Jack and his wife Mary would bring my granddaughters to visit about once every 2 months. Emily would always run to me with an innocent smile, dressed in new clothes with her long hair perfectly styled. In contrast, Lily wore Emily's worn-out hand-me-downs, and her hair was often left untamed and messy. Lily used to be very talkative, but recently she'd become quieter. Unlike Emily's bright smile, Lily often looked down with a gloomy expression. After greeting Emily with a cheerful, "Nice to see you," I crouched down in front of Lily and spoke gently. "Lily dear, welcome. Thank you for coming. I prepared some of your favorite sweets today. Let's eat together." "Aha, Grandma. What about my sweets?" Emily piped up. "Of course, I have yours too. Let's go." Holding the girls' hands, we walked towards the house as Jack and Mary got out of the car and called out to me. "Hey Mom, long time no see. Here's a souvenir." "Oh, thank you. Have you two been well? Please make yourselves at home." "Thank you, Mother-in-law," Mary replied. I welcomed my son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughters into my house, served them tea and sweets, and tried to entertain them. Jack and Mary would only talk to Emily, paying little attention to Lily. Whenever I tried to engage Lily in conversation, Emily would interrupt, or Jack and Mary would change the topic. I was concerned about their attitude towards Lily, but I thought it best not to interfere too much and kept a watchful eye. However, I would later regret this passive approach. One day, I had plans to visit Jack and Mary's house and brought along some sweets that they and the girls liked. Upon arriving, I reached out to ring the doorbell but froze when I heard Jack yelling inside the house. "Why don't you say something instead of just being quiet?" Shocked, I pushed the front door open. It wasn't locked. Without hesitation, I removed my shoes and walked down the hallway, the voices growing louder as I neared the stairs. "You know it's because you don't talk at school that I'm being embarrassed, right?" As I climbed the stairs, the shouting continued, followed by a sharp, dry sound. I quickly opened the door from where the sound had come, finding Jack and Mary scolding Lily, who was sitting on the floor, holding her cheek, about to cry. Emily stood nearby, waving her hand as if in pain. "Hey Lily, you got smacked by your sister, didn't you? How about saying it hurts? If you can't speak, you're no longer family. Get out. We'll send you to the hag's home." "What the hell are you guys doing?" I brushed aside my son and his wife. Emily hugged Lily protectively and glared at her parents. The three of them were momentarily stunned but quickly regained their composure. "Mom, what are you doing barging in like that? You should have rung the doorbell first." "That's right, Margaret. Aren't you rude?" "What's rude is what you guys are doing, surrounding and berating a little girl. Jack, aren't you a father? Aren't you ashamed to mistreat your child? And Emily, why did you hit your sister?" For the first time, I scolded Emily loudly. She seemed scared for a moment but then lowered her head and said, "Cause." Mary pulled Emily towards her, hugged her, and glared at me. "Please don't blame Emily," Mary interjected, trying to shield her daughter. I met her gaze firmly, refusing to back down. Protecting Emily, who hit her sister, is not the right response for a mother. Jack, who had been watching, pointed at me and erupted, "Mom, what are you thinking? Get away from that idiot. The real idiots here are you all." Apologize to Lily. "Huh. Who needs to apologize?" Jack, Mary, and Emily showed no signs of remorse, continuing to belittle Lily. She clung weakly to my clothes, her eyes vacant. Had they treated her like this before? Before I could dwell on it, I scooped Lily up and declared firmly, "I'm taking Lily with me. She can't stay here." Leaving the trio stunned, I marched out of the room. After a moment's pause, Jack hurried after me with a smug grin. "Thanks, Mom." I didn't know how to handle her silence. His words left me speechless. Mary appeared next, holding a worn-out carry-on bag and a backpack. "These are Lily's things. Please take care of her," Mary said, thrusting the bags into my arms. Lily and I looked up at Jack and Mary, stunned by their callousness. It was clear they were relieved to see Lily leave their home. Astonished, I left their house without saying a word. In silence, we returned home, and at the entrance, I gently took off Lily's shoes. It was then that I noticed her sniffle. Looking down at her tear-streaked face, I saw her biting her lip, clearly distressed. I pulled her into a comforting hug, patting her back gently. "Lily, it's been tough for you. I'm sorry I couldn't help you sooner, but everything will be all right now. Grandma is here for you. I will protect you." From that day onward, Lily and I began living together. The pain inflicted by her parents had left her speechless. She no longer spoke, not even a simple good morning. Her teacher informed me that she struggled to communicate with her classmates and teachers at school. I felt deeply concerned. I took Lily to the hospital for a medical checkup, where she was diagnosed with selective mutism. The doctor explained that the extreme stress caused by her parents and sister had led to severe anxiety, making it difficult for her to speak. However, the doctor reassured me that with time and a supportive environment, Lily would likely regain her ability to speak. On the way home from the hospital, I bought Lily a cute notebook and a pen. "Listen, Lily, if there's something you want to tell me or anyone else, write it down in this notebook. Draw pictures or write words and then try to say them out loud, even if it's just a little bit at a time, okay?" Excitedly, Lily opened the notebook and began writing with the pen. After a while, she showed me a page with the words "Thank you, Grandma," accompanied by a sketch of my face. Lily tried to voice the words but couldn't quite manage it, looking disappointed. "Lily, you're doing wonderfully. Take your time, step by step. I'm so proud of you." I gently patted her head, and Lily looked up at me with a faint smile. She started using the notebook and pen to communicate at school, gradually gaining confidence. Over the next 2 years, she made significant progress and eventually regained her ability to speak normally. Grandma, today at school," Lily burst through the door with excitement, eager to share her day's adventures with me. Her lively chatter and enthusiasm were a constant source of joy for me, knowing how far she had come since those silent days. One day, I accompanied Lily to a 3-way conference at her school. Inside the classroom, a warm-hearted teacher welcomed us. Both Lily and I greeted her with a cheerful "Hello, teacher," before taking our seats. As we discussed Lily's progress at school and at home, she squirmed shyly in her chair. Lily's grades have been steadily improving over the past year. "Take a look at her report card," the teacher said, showing us a chart displaying a notable upward trend since Lily moved in with me. "I believe it's because she's so dedicated to her studies. She tackles challenging books and solves complex problems almost every day," I added proudly, giving Lily a gentle pat on the head. Ever since she regained her voice, she had thrown herself into learning. At home, she immersed herself in advanced books, and on test days, she proudly presented me with perfect scores. I framed and displayed all her top-scoring papers, filled with pride each time I looked at them. "I see. In that case, how about considering an IQ test at the hospital?" suggested the teacher. "An IQ test?" I inquired, intrigued. The teacher explained that Lily might be gifted, a term used for children with exceptional intelligence. Lily's keen intellect and rapid learning suggested she might benefit from an educational environment tailored to her unique abilities. Encouraged by the teacher's suggestion, I promptly took Lily to the hospital for an IQ test. As suspected, the results confirmed that Lily was indeed gifted. I was astounded to discover her remarkable potential. When I asked Lily about her studies in elementary school, expecting excitement, she instead replied with a bored expression, "Well, To be honest, it's too easy and boring. I want to study something more challenging, but whenever I tell the teacher, they seem confused. Her words got me thinking. Could Lily pursue the advanced studies she craved in America? The subjects she desired were likely at a middle school or high school level. But considering Lily hadn't even finished elementary school, I wondered if she could handle such a leap. I consulted with her homeroom teacher, who explained the grade skipping system in the US. The teacher suggested that in America, Lily could indeed pursue the challenging education she sought. It occurred to me that my late husband's brother lived in America. Although we hadn't been in touch since my husband's passing, he might be able to help us. I reached out to him, and he promptly offered his support for her life in the US. Relieved, I proposed the idea of studying abroad to Lily. I'd love to go if it's with you, Grandma, but I want to graduate from elementary school with my friends first, Lily replied thoughtfully. All right, I understand. I'll also start learning English before you graduate, I assured her. Lily smiled in relief, having made many memories with her friends at elementary school. She graduated smoothly, and we exchanged contact information so she could keep in touch with her friends overseas. I decided not to mention our plans to Jack and Mary, fearing they might interfere if they knew Lily's exceptional abilities. Lily adapted quickly to life in the US and accelerated through her studies. I supported her every step of the way. When I heard Lily say, "Studying is much more fun now," I knew we had made the right choice coming to America. Her talent was truly remarkable. After a few years of dedicated study, Lily enrolled at Harvard University, studying business. Before I knew it, she had started her own successful company. I want to repay my grandma, Lily said enthusiastically. To me, she had already repaid me in abundance. Lily had grown into a remarkable adult, her achievements making headlines across America and gaining worldwide recognition. Her name was likely known globally by now. I couldn't help but wonder what Jack and Mary thought of her success. Perhaps they regretted how they had treated her. 10 years after Lily started her company, we returned to our home country for work-related reasons. Settling into a new apartment, we were surprised one day by the doorbell. Assuming it was a delivery or notice, I opened the door without suspicion. It's been a while, Mom. How have you been? Jack stood there, accompanied by Mary. Why are you both here? I couldn't hide my shock. I had changed my contact information and moved far away from our previous home. How did they find us? Ignoring my surprise, Mary called out into the house. Hey Lily, are you here? It's your mom. We've come to see you after so long. What do you want? Please don't approach my daughter, I responded firmly. Don't be like that, Mom. We're Lily's parents, after all, Jack insisted. That's right, Grandma. Is Lily here? Please let us see her, Mary chimed in. Wait, you can't just barge in like this. I tried to stop them, but they brushed past me and entered the apartment. As I struggled to intervene, Lily appeared from the living room, clearly taken aback. What's going on, Grandma, and who are they? Lily's confusion mirrored my own. I could only avert my gaze awkwardly. On the other hand, Jack and Mary seemed overjoyed to finally see Lily again. Oh Lily, I've missed you. You've grown so much, Mary exclaimed, reaching out to hug her. Lily gently brushed off her arms. If you want to talk, I'll listen in the living room. I'll prepare some tea, so please wait on the sofa, Lily said calmly, her tone chilly. She turned towards the kitchen and began preparing tea while Jack and Mary settled themselves on the sofa, launching into a one-sided conversation with her. Concerned, I called out to Lily, but she winked at me, silently signaling to leave it to her. As I sat down opposite them, it wasn't long before the main issue surfaced. Jack and Mary revealed that the pub they had been running had failed due to mismanagement. Their eldest daughter, Emily, had also distanced herself from them after starting work, leaving them uncertain about her whereabouts and activities. They were now facing financial hardship, unsure of how long their savings would last. Hey Lily, would you consider helping us out? You left home at 6, but until then, we raised you. It's only fair you show some gratitude. Jack appealed. Lily, we know you must have felt lonely all these years without us. Let's live together again as a family. We can make up for the lost time and create new memories, Mary added, pleadingly. I couldn't bear to see my son and his wife reduced to such pleading. Though it pained me to admit it, I struggled to understand how Jack had ended up in this situation. Where had I gone wrong in raising him? Lost in my guilt, I was brought back to reality by Lily's firm voice. Idiots aren't my family. The only family I have is Grandma. Please see yourselves out, Lily declared, wearing a cool smile that I had never seen before. But Lily. Wait, please. Despite their pleas to reconcile and live together, Lily remained resolute. She escorted them out the front door with firm resolve, locking it with a definitive click. Peering through the window, I watched as my son and daughter-in-law walked away with slumped shoulders. Grandma? Yes, dear? Should we move? At her question, Lily chuckled softly. It turned out she had been secretly planning to build a house where we could live together, designed with accessibility features tailored for my comfort. Thank you, Lily, I said gratefully. Blushing slightly, she laughed in embarrassment. Several months later, we settled into our new home. Thanks to Lily's thoughtful planning, I now live comfortably in a space perfectly suited to my needs. Our shared memories adorn the walls, including the notebook and pen we first used to communicate. Every time I see them, it brings tears to my eyes. Today, I think I'll prepare Lily's favorite dish for dinner. With that in mind, I headed to the kitchen to start cooking.